Guys, this story was about a child whose mother was killed by a monster in front of his eyes, and to take revenge for the same thing, that child had become a devil from a common man. So at the beginning of the story we see a woman, let's see, whose name is Jin Kazama. She lived in a small house in the forest with her son. She herself was a very good person. Marshall is also a fighter, and she used to practice with her son every day. That day she saw 3 boys chasing her son. All 3 of them catch hold of him and start beating him badly and tell him that from next time he should not be seen here because of the beatings. Blood started coming out from his mouth and nose, and from there the fat man said, "Oh child, are you with your mother now?" On hearing the name of mother, her son, that is, the one who gets angry, would have broken the face of that fat boy with a single corpse. He also dominates both the boys. He was about to finish the last guy when his mom comes there. His mom tells Jin, "Enough is enough now, let these people go, guys." Jin Kazama's daughter's name is Jin Kazama, which is the main character of the story is Jin Bolta Hai. Those people were the ones who started it earlier. They were harassing me for a week. They speak about him. Okay, no problem. We will go home and talk about it. After this they come to that small house. Jun says, "Look, those children who should control your anger are not going to live here, but you belong here. You're on this island today, and you may not be there tomorrow. You shouldn't have hurt those kids. You did that. You have been practicing since day, but you have lost today." Jin says, "No mother, I am not defeated. I have defeated all 3 of them. I have dominated." His mom says, "No guys, the main part of fighting is to control your anger. I couldn't control your anger." Jin says, "Yes, maybe I have lost today, but I can control my anger. I will learn to do it." Junan says, "I am staying on this island because I want a little peace. On this island I am training little by little, and I am also training you too." "Mom, you are talking about my dad. You never talk to her." Then June turns her conversation towards studies, and she says, "Focus on yourself like books." Later the scene shifts and we are shown the training scene. During the training, Jin goes to punch his mom, but his mom stops him from doing so, and explains to him that your first enemy on the battlefield is you and your own people. Trust the above first and slowly consume Sky Jamma fighting, and only then use it as a special move. She jumps and goes to do a special technique, but when she goes to touch Jin, she stops and says, "This is Kazama Hei's special Unsurui technique." Only after this, both of them start practicing. John also goes to practice like her wax, and he was not able to understand this technique properly. Hence, he falls at the very last moment. His mother tells him, "It is good, but we will have to practice more." At night, June tells him that now we have to fight with the right person. Paj Jin asks, "Who is this now?" Only after this, the scene of the night of Saipto is shown where Pajun asks for his son. Jin was cooking and says, "What's going on for dinner today, Mom?" His mom says, "It's a little different," but then someone comes from outside. A shouting sound is heard. It was one of the same people who was attacking Jin, and he had also called his father along with him. Dad drunkenly says, "Who has killed my son?" "This boy has killed my son. You don't know the blame for this. What will happen?" June says, "I apologize on his behalf," but then that cursed man breaks his glass bottle and pours water on it. He moves forward to attack, but before Jin can fight him, his mob removes him with a single move. Jin says, "I want to agree with you. You can leave from here." Only after this, Jin comes inside the house with her wax. Only after this, Jin's wax comes inside the house. She explains to him again that you lose your anger every time. Remember that you are a coward if you control your anger. Those who will win all the time. While explaining all this, suddenly a strange sound came from outside. His mom closes all the curtains on the window. Jin says, "Is there any dangerous animal?" His mom says, a little worried, "A very big demon has come outside." After this, his mom says, "Listen, you stay here. I will fight with that demon. Don't go out right away. If anything happens to me because of this fight, you will be like your grandfather." Saying to find Mishima, Jun comes in front of the demon. Jun asks, "Why have you come here?" But that demon, without listening to anything, attacks him. Only then we get to see a very good fight between them. They were fighting, and Jin from the house was tolerating all this. Slowly, that demon was gaining on him. That demon was strangling Jun. He was about to grab hold of him and finish him off when suddenly Jan comes there, whose attack was nothing for Damon, and Damon gives him he pounces, and he goes away and becomes unconscious. After this, he leaves June and moves ahead to kill Jin. Her mom attacks her again, but this demon was a little too powerful, and with one blow, he kills June as well as her house. June also sets herself on fire. Seeing that gas is leaking little by little from the cylinder of her house, seeing no other option, she works, fights that demon with all her strength for the last time, and brings him home and says, "I love you, Jin, goodbye." And then there is a huge explosion. Here, Jin regains his memory and calls his mom loudly, but she, seeing a piece of his mother's dress lying below, he understands that his mother is no more in this world. When she accepts the thing, she starts crying a lot. Her whole house was burning, and below is one last photo with her mother. After this, Yo's scene we shown to a city. At the request of his mother, his grandfather got the last last word. Found out that he is the owner of Mishmi Company. Before entering that building, his bodyguard Mathur stops him. Children, you are here. What are you doing? This place is not for you. Get away from here. Jin says, you don't know anything, Mishima. My name is Jin Kazama. Mathur is completely surprised to hear this and takes him to Yachi. He goes, Master, this is your grandson, whose audience says yes. My grandson, i.e. Jin Kazama's son Jin Kazama, says to Yachi, leave me alone. You can leave from here only after this. Yachi says to Jin, hey kid, come fight with me. Jin says, I have not come to fight with you. My mom has come to find you. She told him, but he doesn't listen to anything. He attacks her. Yachi beats her in every way, and Jin in front of him. He is like a little mouse. His grandfather beats him so much that his whole mouth is full of bruises. At the end, Achi. He says, if your name is Jane's Ijma, then this name is not worthy of you. You just be a common weak boy. Get away from here and never be seen again. Only then Jin speaks. Yes, that green monster attacked us. Yashi says, did you see him? Jin says yes. My mom called him demon, and that big monster killed my mom that night itself. With your help, I will take him out and kill him there itself. Only after this, his grandfather says that the creature you have seen, its name is Orga. I am asking you to kill it. I will train, but before that, you will have to prove that you are a part of this group. The title of yours is yours. You will have to prove it with force, and even if you kill him, it will not make any difference to me. Jin speaks angrily after hearing this. Okay, master. Only after this, the next day, Miss Mora, i.e. Yachi's secretary, who was taking measurements of Jin's new outfit. Jin says, I want flames on the lower portion of the pad, but Miss Mora says I have to talk to the master for this. Will have to do. Miss Mora tells the petitioner, we are master a Jin, sir, so claim the flames. Because of this, the petitioner says, your outfit will get flames, but you. If you remain weak like this, then what will be the meaning of these flames of yours? So you have to work hard to achieve this too. You will not get anything easily here, so no flame for this. Start your training time today. If it is going to happen, then be prepared quickly. Only after this, we see Yachi with Jin at a special place. That place is special Yachi. Jin was watching everything while training, then the petitioner inserts him with a single blow. The petitioner says, inside this ring. Only after coming back you will have to forget all the good things like good memories, food, girlfriend, and all the good things. You are here only to remember the sorrow of what you lost, which will give you the strength to fight the Kazama-style fighting. Which will give you. You can use the same that your mother taught you for your warm-up, train you in the real Mishima style. It will be given from today. Only after this the petitioner says, I am going to destroy you completely right now. I am the one who will destroy you, and I will make you stand. With this, you will be able to defeat Orga very easily. Remember, when you understand that you yourself are completely, when you are destroying yourself in such a way, remembering the memories that are bigger than your own sorrow, remembering how Orga destroyed your mother, all these things given to you will give you the strength to fight again. Only after this, you should be ready by remembering all the previous scenes. Yachi goes and says that in this lesson you have to use only hand technique, i.e. only upper body, no leg kicks, no leg techniques, but I can use whatever I want. Only after that, the fighter starts the fight with punches. Yachi knocks him cold with a single kick and says that life and fight is not fair. Saying this, Yachi beats him even more. When he goes to fight again, he has to get beaten again. Yachi says when you use your hand techniques properly, when you learn how to do this, then we will learn leg technique, and when I am satisfied with everything, only then I will try all your techniques. I will combine and your entire body will be made in Mishima style. Only then the person will break the wood for training and make it. Motivates Jin, and seeing this, Jin gets completely shocked. From this onwards, Jin's training starts. Only after training for a long time, Achi says to Jin, I want to see your breaking abilities. Right now this brick. Break it and show that when you hit that brick, it did not break, but your hand started hurting. Seeing this, says good, focus on yourself. Do this and break not just one but all 5 bricks at once. Only after this, his training for today ends. Grandfather tells him that you will join a dinner meeting with me today, so freshen up as soon as possible, and only after that we will. The scene of the mail is shown and Yashi says, don't say anything until I talk to someone about business. And right now you can order whatever food you want, but take care of your health. Only after this, Mathura says that sir is yours. The guest has arrived and we see an unknown person. The person says, we have found that thing, shows the pendant, but when Yachi goes to catch it, he takes it again and says that I will have a hard time finding it. Hard work has been put in and they claim to take extra charges for it, but they call it a petitioner when you signed this contract. When I signed it, it had a fixed price. I will not pay any more money for it. Hence the person says it is okay if this. The pendant is very expensive, so I will find someone else. Only after this, Heihachi asks Jin to bring the pendant. He says, show me. If someone crosses our point, what will be his solution? After this, the unknown person says, hey, Mr. Mishima, now will a child face me? The one whom he thinks is a child starts laughing and takes out his knife, and seeing this, Jin's grandfather tells him to remember his training and defeat him. After this, both of them. A fight starts, and the man cuts Jin's hand with his knife. and this makes Jin very angry and breaks his hand. Seeing this, Yachi says, "Well done, and finish him now," and he will finish him with one blow. He does it. After this, the petitioner says that you finished him, but you hesitated in between, and this is the minus of all the fighters. The point is, for this you will have to pay more attention to Kazama style, and tomorrow will be your training day. The next day, they see us or the petition office to tell Miss Mura about this pendant to our scientist. He keeps talking and saying that I want every kind of information from this pendant. Those people were doing their work, and then there I would start crying. "Hey sir, it's time for training on day 2. Yachi says it will take me more time. Till then, Jin will become the chair in my office. Only after this, we go to training for day 2. On day 2 of training, he will have to fight with his grandfather again. He was falling down again and again and getting up again and again. He was being given every kind of training practice. He was also practicing in raids to strengthen his strong mind. He remembers his mother's memories all the time. And strong body. To keep his mindset good, his grandfather used to send him to school also, and on the way he also had a friend. Used to fight with a primary named Hong. Due to working so hard, he got a perfect body shape as a gift. In the last portion of the training, his grandfather tells him, "I think you have become very capable, so come today. Let's fight one-on-one. If you lose, then you will not get food tonight." After this day and Yachi's a huge fight starts in between. Yash controls him first and says he is weak. Jin gets angry after hearing this. And in Anjin, his eyes start glowing in red color. His whole body and something different has come in his attacking style. His fighting styles becomes even faster and defeats his grandfather with a dangerous lightning punch before Jin uses his raid. Yachi walks away from there with his eyes closed. Yachi smiles seeing the pendant and Jin's fighting style. Miss Mura says to the secretary, "The time has come. Start preparing everything. The tournament will start from tomorrow." Of the Iron Fest takes place the next morning, and we see Izum on a plane going to that tournament. He was doing research about his dad on his phone, but he did not get anything special from this research. It was written everywhere. His father, Iger Kajwa, has died. Only after this the plane lands, and Miss Mura welcomes him at the airport. While going on the way, Miss Mura says, "Don't tell anyone that you are the grandson of this petitioner Mishia, because it will tell everyone." Realizing that he will look at you evilly, Jin says, "Okay." Now a person from behind says, "Should I stop using this cannabis now? We will have to fight." The idol behind whom we see is none other than a friendly opponent. They were the same people who beat each other with anger. Then, Miss Mura introduces them to other participants, and I introduce everyone to you. This is Julia Chang, and this is Paul Phoenix, and last but not least is Nina Williams. After this, Jin and Rang get you in your mood again. Seeing this, Paul Phoenix says, "Hey tough guys, save both of your fights for the tournament, and then do it." Those people sit in the car to go to the stadium. Who was doing research about his dad on his phone when he saw a video clip is found whose name was Rare Footage King of Iron Face. As soon as I open it, I see a dangerous fight between Kaju and Yachi. What was happening was that along with him, Hung was also watching that video clip. Hung says, "This is the video of the second King of Iron Fist." Jin speaks, "How do you know?" Rang speaks, "Yes, I heard that at that time, no one could defeat Kajava, only Paul. It was Phoenix who was very close to defeating him, but Kajava's power was like that of a complete devil." After this, Jin asks this, "What happened to Kajava after the tournament of King of Iron Fist?" And Aang speaks, "I believe. And Yachi from killing the masters. He was shot and killed?" Jin says yes, he was killed. After this, Nina Williams says this is absolutely correct. It's because Kazu was a devil in his Pyrus form. And it's not even that Yachi is better than Kazu. I miss those people. It diverts attention. Please enjoy the scene outside. Now they reach the arena where the tournament is taking place. We'll be present there. We see other participants in which his name is Leos, who was watching Jin. Later in the day he asks, "Where is Mr. Mishima? I want to talk to him." Miss Mura shows him there, right above the battle arena. Yachi was standing above. Whoever reaches there. If Jin says, then yes, that tournament is happening here. Yachi says, "Yes, but Orca can also come here, and to defeat him, you will have to survive in this tournament for a long time." He says, "Don't worry. I am preparing my winning plan." After this, Jin asks real questions. "So tell me about the previous tournaments. What happened to my dad?" After this, the petitioner says that you are living in your past, and by deleting those memories, you think about the present situation. The moment one hears this, he leaves Jinhua. Only after this he rests, and we get more fighters. Forest Law, Anna, William, Steve Fox, Brett, Madhu, Kuma, Yosi, Misu, Frank B. leaves Lung and King. Only after this, Miss Moore says to everyone, "Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You all are welcome." The King off Iron Fist. Only after this all the lights come on and we see Miss Misha. Yachi says, "Good evening. Everyone is here only. Only the best fighter of the world is called, and the one who is the best among the best will be declared the winner, and today, this night you will be celebrated for your hard work, and the tournament will start from tomorrow only after that. but food was brought for all the participants and drinks were also kept for their enjoyment. While Nina was not following Williams, her path was blocked by a man whose name was Leo Smith. Smith said, "Have you taken fighting training from Mr. Mishima?" Jin speaks, "My name is Jin Kazama." "Yes, I have taken it." "So in this, what happened?" Smith says, "I will have a lot of fun in defeating the dog of Miss Yama." Jin says, "Then come right now." Those people or Yachi was watching from the drone camera and told Miss Miola to arrange a G Part 1 fight between them. Only after that he calms down and says, "I hope I will see you tomorrow in the ring." Only after this we are shown the second scene in which Nina was following Williams while searching for him, and Nina was also noticing him hiding behind a stone. Boy says, "I am Jin Kazama. The Kazama you were talking about in the car in the morning is correct." Nina says, "If you keep it to yourself, then it's fine." And she says this and goes away from there. And Phoenix notices all this while having a drink from a distance. Jean was saying as soon as he saw her, "Hey Phoenix, my name is Jean's name." Phoenix said, "Don't bother with Nina. It's okay because he is not that friendly." But what Nina was telling is all true. The day speaks, "You have talked to Kajwa once. When we fought together, you lost. Stop talking about Phoenix. He was the one who had the ability to win. There was also a devil along with him. He was also using Mishia Mayaju to defeat Yachi, which was a Mishia fighting technique." Jin speaks, "Have you seen the fight between Yachi and Kazama?" Only after this, Phoenix remembers his past. We see Yachi and a very dangerous fight was taking place in Kajwa, which Phoenix was also watching. Kajo says to Yachi, "What did you think that you today? I proved him wrong, that he is the most powerful." And by saying this, Kaijo makes him fall down. Everyone thought that Yak had died only then, but Yachi again takes part in the King of Iron Fish, and on the same day he himself kills his son. Only after this Phoenix says, "Leave all this and prepare for tomorrow. Good luck, children," he says. "Good luck to whoever." Only after this the scene is completed. Next day it's morning. Jin goes to meet his grandfather, but his grandfather was busy, was selecting the matching opponent. Jin says, "Grandfather, I want to talk to you." Yachi says, "Not now." Jin says, "No, just now." Miss Mir gestures to the petitioner and the guy goes out. Jin says, "You are my dad." Yashi says yes, because the power of a devil belonged to him, and that very thing used to give him strength all the time. Earlier, this thing was not understood, but this thing was gradually getting absorbed in him. A research revealed that he had devil gene in him. The Jin says, "Is it a devil gene?" Yachi says that it is a devil genetic syndrome. I don't know where it came from in him. He was not there, and with his help, no one could defeat him. After this, the day tells, "For this, my mom never told me about dad. I did not tell you." Only after this, the petitioner says, "Forget all this and focus on your power. Tomorrow is yours already." The match is that Yachty was making a trap inside to catch the ogre and sees that cell with Miss Miro in it and tries to catch him. Miss Mura says, "Do you know whether he will be able to beat Norga or not?" Yachi says, "It doesn't matter to me. I just have to catch Orga with Jin's help and know the secret of all his powers." When Jin went to school, he had a girlfriend. That girl's name was Sayu. Both of them were together in Missy. Used to study in Polytechnic school. After this, we are shown the present scene in which Jin was doing a little meditation. Sayu comes in front. Jin says, "Sayu, what are you doing here?" She asks. "Have you come here to fight alone? I also want to become the queen of the Iron Fist." After this, Jin says, "I didn't mean that." Sayu says, "It's okay. It's not a problem. I joined Fatih late last night, but you have a fast fight in the tournament. So instead of that, what are you doing here?" Jin says, "I am getting ready by doing a little meditation." Sayu was saying that the opponent is a kung fu master. So after listening a little carefully, one understands that this is the same person who was with me last night. The fight took place only after this. The scene shifts and we are shown the stadium. Ladies and gentlemen, everyone is welcome. The king of our first fight today at the Iron Fist tournament, Leo Smith versus Jin Kazama. The referee asks both of them when both are ready, they both say yes together. And if the referee says then start, only after this there is a very strong bond between them. Good fight starts. Everyone online and offline was enjoying this fight. Smith used to fight with his Aquarius style, was defeating him and makes him fall from above with a different move. After this, he wandered around a bit that day and then recalling his mother's memories, he regains his strength and remembers how Org had killed his mother. He got up again. This time he was overpowering Smith, and he also dropped him with a single blow. Only then Smith stopped attacking again. Smith attacks him again with the same mob. When Smith falls down, Jean tells him to stay down. "You have lost the tournament." Then Smith says no, and gets up again. Smith starts running towards him, but seeing this, he breaks his bone with a single lash. Breaks it, and he falls down holding his leg. Only after this we are shown Jin in a room. Horan also comes. Both of them were talking about the King of Iron Fist tournament. Everyone's match one by one. It starts happening and the winners among them are Junia Chang, Anna William King. After this there is a fight tournament and Nina. Jin also arrives there to watch the fight between William and Sayu. Jin tells Sayu to be careful. Sayu is a killer. Then this game will be very fun when she will lose to a high school student and then she will be beaten from behind. He says, did this happen? Only after this a fight starts between them. With a single attack, Nina catches Shu by his waist. The whole band was there. Nina says goodbye, little girl. Here, Jin says to Yachi, she is still young. She has to go to the tournament. Should not have taken part. The petitioner says, you just keep watching him. He absorbs all the players first, and he shouts at everyone with his frank mind so that everyone gets angry at him and slows down gradually. He quickly dodges it and moves forward, and suddenly a lightning bolt hits his head and knocks him out. Jean is completely shocked to see this. If this girl goes, it can weigh heavily on me too. The one who goes to Leo Smith's chamber at night. His leg hurts as soon as he sees her. Smith was heartbroken. As soon as he saw him, he said, "Oh, Yachi's disciple, the golden boy. What do you want here?" Jin says, "How is your leg?" Smith says, "Petition. Since when did the disciple start taking care of people?" Jin says, "I am not his disciple. I have only taken training from him." Smith says that what you are asking about me is probably something that Chi did not teach you. Must be because he was not a kind-hearted person at all. He just uses everyone to move ahead. Let me tell you about the petitioner. I have to tell something to an orphan person who doesn't have a mother, and that is me. And the reason for this is only because this petitioner is my mother. Only then the petitioner comes back. He says, "Yes, you are right, John. You have a fight tomorrow, so there is no point in wasting time on it." Just then, Genua leaves. Smitty says to Yashi, "I am not finished yet. I will come back only to finish you." To do this, only after this, we are shown the scene of the evening, to whom the petitioner says, "All the opponents who will come in front of you, along with defeating people, each step of yours will move you forward, and little by little you will come closer to them by singing. Throw away the weakness given to you by your mother, and prepare for tomorrow's fighting the day after." There will be a fight between Jean and Heron. After this, the tournament starts again the next day. The referee says yes to both of them. Only after this, a very dangerous fight starts between them. Rang was fighting with a different style for some time. Only after a fight, Heron overpowers him, he knocks him away with a single body blow, and then Jin again talks about his mom. I was thinking that only after this, when it is Jin's turn, he starts the fight with many jab styles and suddenly becomes very angry. Hoki delivers a very lightning dangerous punch, and Hoki falls away from there, after which Hoki comes to him to finish him off. He was about to leave when he controlled his anger, and said that only the winner always buys beer, and out of the joy of today's win, he should make him drink beer. The referee declared Jin the winner. Here Sayu says that, "What do you guys know? The next tournament will be between Paul Phoenix and it will be from a grizzly bear." And after hearing this, everyone starts laughing and joking that the next day's fight will be between King and Sayu. In the beginning, King beats him very badly, but our Sayu also fights in his own way. Starts and tries to defeat him, but this time King catches him and knocks him out with one hit, and the King becomes the winner. Sayu's condition had completely deteriorated, and only after this we see Sayu in the hospital. Jin came to see him. Sayu says, "Don't give me any lecture right now. I am in such tension." Jin says, No, I just came to inquire about your well-being, but I will definitely take revenge for this fight of yours." And that's when we see this. King was listening to everything from outside. Only after this, we are shown the scene of the tournament where the match between King and Phoenix. Phoenix was telling the reporter that my last match was like a practice match, and now I have anything can happen with Jaguar Man. Only after this, Jin says you will be in the final with one of these guys. We will have to fight, and recently we came to know that this king is not the king we knew before, the king we knew about. He was also killed by Orga, and after hearing that this king is a different person, Jin becomes a little fond of if the devil. If your father didn't have the power, Paul Felix would have slapped your father. So now these two are on a fight. Focus. Only after this, the referee starts the fight and a tremendous fight is seen between them. Then Phoenix attacks his most dangerous move, which is named the Burning Face. But even then, it does not make much difference on the king. And see, Paul Phoenix becomes completely crazy. How he stands on his feet. Only after this, Phoenix attacks again. But this time, King catches him, and by using a big trick on top, he knocks him out completely. Seeing this, the petitioner Jin tells, "With whom do you have to fight?" Only after this, the final match will take place, King versus Jin Kazama. Only after this, we will tell Yachi. See, the doctor who was talking to Dr. Basknabak on his laptop is doing research about the same pendant and ring. Now the doctor says that our cell is completely ready to catch the virus, but like last time, if the gene if he gets angry, then he will not get angry. After understanding all this, the petitioner comes out. Only after this, the final match of the next day starts, King versus Jin Kazama. Everyone comes to their respective positions to watch this final match. Everyone also sees this on the TV screen. Was watching the match. King will fight with wrestling fighting skills, and our Jin will fight with Mishima karate style. Then the fight started with Muko. As soon as it happens, King takes him, but Jin frees him and attacks him. Yachi was watching the fight with that pendant, was thinking about it, but by doing it slowly, King was getting heavier on Jin, and King throws him away with a single blow. But from here, Phoenix says, "Get up, man," and Rang also says, "You can do it, defeat that jaguar, but keep your pendant." You see, there was no shine in that pendant. Only after this, Jin woke up again, and this time Jin used his powers, activates and attacks that Juggerman, and using his full powers dominates him right there. Seeing this, his friends are very happy. After this, Jin Kazama becomes the winner of this tournament. Well, he is very angry because Jin was not fighting his anger, and because of this, there is no effect on that pendant. It was happening that Jin wants to give all the money of the tournament to King because he has nothing to do with this money. Then Jin Yachi comes on the way and tells him that your final opponent is still pending, and he is me. Ladies and gentlemen, the fight of the tournament is still not over. We just have our new fight match, Jin Kazama versus Heihachi Mishima. All the audience are watching this, so they are very happy, but those whose friends were not happy at all. Let me tell you for your information. The attack was carried out here because the petitioner knew that if Din was not angry, then Arga would not come near him because Orga will come here due to the glow of this paint, and hence the petitioner himself will fight with him to make him angry. And once the petitioner, if you catch Arga, with the help of that cell, the petitioner will absorb all his powers. I am the one whom the petitioner comes and tells, "I have created Arga, and your dad became very powerful because of that devil gene, but I am the most powerful on this word." Only after hearing all this, Jin gets angry, and like his father, he gets angry like a devil. When Jin speaks, you killed my entire family. Now you will not be able to escape from here, come. After this, on this day, he comes to his fighting position and the real fighting starts between them. Jin immediately overpowers Yachi and kills him with a single blow, throws it away, but suddenly Yachi stands on his feet, and seeing this, Jin gets angry and goes to hit him again, but this time, Yachi catches him and starts beating him badly. Yachi says that before he comes to Varga, "I will finish you," but only then Jin. He frees himself and goes to fight him, but Yak performs his special moves and instantly defeats Jin. He starts beating him a lot and finally throws him away with his most powerful punch. Everyone thought that Jin was over, but here Jin was unconscious and thinking about his mother. His mother said, "Remember Jin, do not depend on the weight and power of any enemy. Go understand his attacking moves and defeat him." After this, Jin stands up again and kills him with his mother's style. Jin calls him, uses his mother's Kajava technique from the same round, and then starts hitting Yachi in a very brutal way. He gets him up from the ground and uses a special leg attack, and then the pendant falls from his neck, and now the pendant starts glowing. And then everything on the whole cloud became green, and from there comes Orga. Yachi would have been very happy to see Orga. Along with him, the other players were also watching him. Orga came down and spoke to Jin in a different language, which means that day it should have been you instead of your mother. Poor, your mother was killed unnecessarily. All this is fine. His Jin gets very angry, and a devil appears in his eyes. Jin attacks the creature, but he was very powerful, and threw Jin away with just one punch, but Sayu and Herring also attacked him after seeing this. Come to do it. But the petitioner goes in front of them and they say let him fight his fight and tell the petitioner from Phoenix. Why aren't you serious? He really needs help. He was here and it was weighing heavily on him. Helped him in many ways. They start hitting, but after a while Jin stands on his feet and blocks all of Arga's attacks, and now Jin also starts attacking him. Jin tells him that the last time you fought with him, he was a child, but now this child. After hearing that, it is not that easy to defeat, Ga becomes even more angry that by making him angry like this, he made a big mistake. After this, he starts hitting him a lot. Phoenix sees that if he does this, he will be killed. Yachi says, "No, you guys, you will not go. Let him fight his fight." He starts beating him with his style and throws him away while beating. But this time Jin thinks about his grandfather. His grandfather had said that hesitation, i.e., hesitation is a very bad thing. You will have to overcome and move ahead. After this Jin gets angry, and he uses all his power to defeat the RGA, tries to kill him and ends him with a final attack. And seeing all this, his friends are very happy. There are those who have a devil brewing in their eyes. Yachi sees that now is the right time to catch it. That is why Dr. Basco. They tell me to bring the cell to the middle, but the person who told me has died now and all my relations with you have ended. I have nothing to do with this tournament. I have completed my revenge. This is what Yashi says. If I had not been there, then this is never possible. Jin says, if you were good, then my mom and dad would also be alive. Only after this, the whole sky will change. Again, the green becomes green, and the body of the snake was also glowing with green color. Its light was so bright that no one could see it. He was glowing with so much power that even the ground breaks. And only after this, Orga's body gets regenerated. He was even more powerful than last time's Orga. Both his punks had also arrived, and he has now become a demon whose name is. It is true that everyone gets very excited after seeing this Orga. And after seeing it, Jin becomes very angry, and true Orga attacks him. Jin is somehow avoiding him, but Orga catches him with his snake hands. Seeing this, Hong also attacks him, but Arga moves him aside with a single shot. Phoenix also attacks, and he attacks his most powerful punch, but due to this Raga was badly injured, and with this Sayu also hits him on the head, whose friends were fighting with Ruga, but who was lying unconscious and injured on Jin's side. The grandfather was enjoying all this from the corner, but this time Sayu throws away Raga Rang and Phoenix. She says, "Oh, just me and you," but when Sayu attacks her, then Arga catches her with his snake hands, and seeing this Jin remembers his mother completely. Raga had caught hold of his mother just like that. Jin remembers his grandfather. He remembers that his grandfather had told him that if you suddenly become weak in front and do not develop strength in yourself, then start thinking about your helpless situation like how Org killed your mom, and remembering all these things. Jin stands on his feet, and the devil is visible in his eyes again. Jin tells Tuga to leave him and become mine. Then Orga leaves him and comes to Jin. Standing in the corner, Yaya was observing everything. Devil attacks him furiously. Jin says, "Orga, you will not be able to escape now." Only after this, Orga also counterattacks in this. Jin gets badly injured and falls away. Due to this, Jin also does not accept defeat and comes running and catches Gina's organ, and he makes a strong 5-stroke and hits her on the face with one blow. This completes Orga's job, and she, the big demon, gets destroyed right there, and at the same time the entire situation there gets cured with a green-colored light. All his friends come forward and say, "Really, you have done this? I was listening silently all this day," but then the petitioner comes in front of him and says, "Like father, like son, all is well within you. This is the debt that you owe to your father. Used to belong, and I can't tolerate this thing on you, because only real fighters belong here. Then your condition will also be like that of your father." Then Yachi takes out the gun from his chest and shoots Jin in front of everyone. Jin kills him, and then he falls down, and all his friends are shocked to see this. Yachi says, "I will save the world as one," saved from terrible Abel. But here, Jin's hands were shaking, and he remembers his mother's last words. He goes to heaven. He meets his mother and tells him to use his superpower for good work, and not to become famous like his father. But then the devil's wing had come out, and his face had also changed, and he throws Yachi away with his terrible hands, and he starts punching a lot. Sayu says, "Stop, Jin." Due to this, Jin stops even after getting so many blows. Yachi was laughing and said, "You are a real Mishima." Then Jin leaves him. Jin is now a complete devil. Jin Kazama. This is done. He takes that pendant from the petitioner and throws it away. Only after that he goes and breaks the statue in which the petitioner is sitting. There was a face, and then devil Jin Kazama flies away to where the guys whose father Kazuma is still alive. And in part 2 of this video, you guys will get to see the fight between Jin Kazama and his father, Kazuha Kazama, so quickly give a like. Please comment on part 2 and next video coming soon.